sticking around and hope we can put on a show for you here. You see the bingo card in the middle of your screen. So 64-bit Link has picked row 5 for Feral, and Feral has picked column 2 for Link. So they will each have to complete those respective lines, plus another line, like Sabroth just said.
Yep. So let's talk about that. Let's see here. Row 5, right? That is finish in a Shine Spark or a Crystal Flash. They only need to do those moves before they click done. They need to be doing those moves. Criteria Map Station, you only need to go into the map room. You don't need to activate the map. Some runners will activate the map. Space Jump, they're going to have to actually pick up and collect that item. 125 missiles. That's actually a lot. And then fully explore the wrecked ship. This one is a little tricky. They need to light up all of the map tiles in order to complete this square. For column 2, collect X super missiles and 50 minus X power bombs. That means the sum of the collected super missiles and power bombs must be 50. It's 5 per pack, so they can collect 50 power bombs and 0 super missiles. Probably not a good idea. Or any other combination thereof. 25 and 25 will also work. 15 and 35, whatever they want to do. Collect Plasma Beam or defeat Ridley. Runner's choice. One of those is probably a little harder than the other. Collect all 60 Brinstar missiles. Gotta know where they all are. And then defeat Crocomire. We already went over that criteria map station. So, yeah, what do you think that our runners might pair with these selections, Derp?
So for column 2, the one I'm looking at is row 4. They both have the Plasma Beam, collect Plasma Beam tile, so those are free. The collect all 25 Brinstar power bombs synergizes really well with the super missiles and power bombs. And so the only thing that's really being added per se is skipping charge, which is significant for sure. And then a reserve tank, which they have a couple options. Neither of those are too hard to get, although the wreck ship reserve will require visiting the wreck ship with speed booster, meaning that you will have to go Kraid and Varya first.
Yeah, I like that. I do like that choice. That skip and charge beam, though, not insignificant. Does allow for the potential to soft lock in different areas, especially say Baoon, if you run out of missiles. So our runners do need to be aware of that. This is the vanilla game. They do start on Sirius Station, as you've seen. So what might Feral want to pair with his row 5?
So for Feral, with the row he's been given, he only technically needs to go into Wreck Ship and Meridia. He can avoid Norfair entirely.
Yeah.
So he wants to look for something that doesn't need to go in those areas. The one I see, well, it doesn't quite fit that bill, is column 3. He will need to do a quick dip into Norfair to pick up the map station. But it does have a lot of missile collection, and it doesn't involve going into Norfair until the very end, where he can... Well, he would actually have to go get the Norfair reserve, if he wants to go ship first. But either way, it'll be a quick dip into Norfair where he can just end right off of there.
How about that column 4 for him? Collect X-ray scope, skip grapple beam. It's in an awkward position anyway. In Norfair, defeat Spore Spawn and Bot Wound. He's in Meridia, so he'd probably end up defeating Bot Wound to begin with. Spore Spawn a little bit out of the way in Brinstar, and then collecting all 25 Brinstar power bombs. That one seems to synergize as well, so that might be another possibility.
It's kind of a different sides of the same coin, where I think column 4 is a little bit more collection. You need to go and get all the power bombs in Brinstar, whereas you need to go a little bit further. Column 3. So it's kind of up to his choice, I would say.
Yeah, that's very fair. It is 7 seconds of fanfare, so our runners do need to worry about that. And we see Feral going in for the map station already. Link in the climb.
Yep. So of course, both runners are forced to get that tile there. So no surprises.
Yep, we'll see both of them visit that room. Whether they choose to light up the map or not is their choice. They do not required.
Yep, only required to visit the map station, which means technically if you visit the wrecked ship map station while it is still inactive, it still counts as visiting the station, which gives you the tile.
Yep, absolutely.
But that is not going to be relevant in this race. Just for any of you who might be interested in dabbing yourself, it's something you should know.
Oh, that was unfortunate. Farrell shooting one of those missiles a little too high, and it missed the door. Yeah, this game is, well, it's really skill intense and very unforgiving.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. I think we've all been there where we've missed a missile on this door here. Generally, you want to reset, but in a race, that's not really an option, so Farrell just has to go back and pick up some missiles. Since 64-bit Link did not get the map station before he fought Bomb Torizo, he actually has not, or he actually entered Bomb Torizo in front of Farrell, so.
Yep. Yeah, that is something. Farrell does have that map station. We'll see if Link wants to pick it up now. It was a little more on the way Farrell did it, but there is always the concern of having the missiles for Bomb Torizo or not. So you gotta have to refill. So we'll see if Link wants to pick that up now, or maybe route that in at another time.
Looks like he is not picking it up right now. That tells me he's planning on visiting the area again. Like he might do another loop around and enter Brinstar again, potentially to do item cleanup. So that tells me he might be looking at that Brinstar power bomb slot actually.
Yeah, coming back from, say, the wreck ship, a real easy time to route that in. So yeah, we'll see if, what they want to do there. Yeah.
Yep, like I said, that would suggest row 4 if that is what he's planning. Row 4 or column 4. Or I guess TLBR. There's a couple options he still has.
Yeah, TLBR, not too terrible there. We've got Grapple Beam, Collect Plasma Beam, or Defeat Ridley. Something that Link has to do anyway. Both Brinstar missile recharge stations, you do have to know where they are. But they're not too terribly far off the beaten path, at least for the missile recharge stations. Collect all 25 Brinstar power bombs. He's got to collect all 60 Brinstar missiles. So they're all over the place. And fully explore the wreck ship. So I kind of like what he's doing here. Setting up on this early mock ball. To pick up the missiles first. Oh no! Yeah, to use those to open that door and not have to go up here.
Okay, he got some.
Okay, good.
Oh
no!
Oh jeez.
Oh, this is unfortunate for Link.
But we do see Farrell, meanwhile, starting his Brinstar missile cleanup. That's actually not forced for him, but he does need to pick up 125 missiles, so it's not surprising that he is going for all the missiles he can get early on. And he's also...
Look at this. Like this is the recharge station.
Yeah, so he might be looking at that central tile of both Brinstar missile recharge stations. I don't think that was one we pointed out for him. No, I think I said... I think I did talk about column 3, and that would be potentially he can also do both diagonals and row 3 off of that.
Yeah, that's true. Now he used that missile station. That is not required. Just have to visit the room. Same as the map stations. All right, 64-bit Link on his way out now. Meanwhile, Farrell going to be heading into Big Pink here.
Yeah, one thing to note about this race is Farrell is definitely, at least in terms of movement, I would say the more experienced Super Metroid runner. He has a really good any percent time, low 43, I believe.
That's a very good time. All right, 64-bit Link looks like wants to go to the Brinstar map station.
Is that required?
I don't think so.
This. I hope he doesn't think this is the missile. Huh.
This is definitely the map, sir.
Yeah, this is the map.
This is the map.
Oh, there is a map station tile.
Well, there you go. He's got it now for Brinstar Map Station.
Yep. So, I wonder
if he's thinking a row 2 or a column 1. Column 1, that's awful. 10 E-tanks.
Well, column 1 isn't the worst thing ever. Besides the E-tanks, it still has that plasma beam tile, which he has to get.
It does. 10 E-tanks is a lot, though.
That is very true.
It's not. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say there are a lot of E-tanks that he can pick up during the Brinstar cleanup. There's the Wave Gate, the Waterway, as well as the Etacoons. So that's 3 right there that he can pick up in pretty quick succession.
Yeah, my issue with the E-tanks is that it's not that they're. I mean, they're less collection than 125 missiles, for sure. But they're just like all over the place. They're less in the way than missiles are. Like you can just run through the game and not know where anything is and come up with like almost 200 missiles pretty easily, right? 100, 150, 170 missiles. But the E-tanks are spread out very far across the entirety of the map. So there's alpha power bombs for Feral. So we'll see what 64-bit Links wants to do.
Yeah, so one thing to note about row 2, which 64-bit Link could be doing, is it does have a little bit of built-in synergy with the collect X-ray and skip grapple, and then finish an X-ray, so he could theoretically be knocking out 2 tiles at once with that.
Yes, that is a tile that Feral cannot do. Cannot finish in another. He cannot have another finish tile because he already has one. So
well, that's not true. He can go into the X-ray room and then finish in a crystal flash. You can't. I think you can get a really tight short charge, but if he can get into the room and then do a crystal flash or shine spark, then he can get 2 finish tiles. It's just if you have finish in 2 separate rooms, that's when
yes
problems.
Yes, accurate. I didn't think about what his finish in tile was. You are correct there. So, that is oof. Well, maybe he could do that in the front part of that room. That room is longer than. Yeah, I guess. All right, 64-bit Link going down Red Tower here. This definitely route divergence here as Feral is across the moat and going to be going to the wreck ship. So that's a Phantoon first here for Feral. This route, very dangerous, but for a very experienced runner like Feral, should not be too much of a problem with the Ghost.
Yep, one thing Feral does need to remember is that he does need to fully explore the wreck ship. That is one of his required tiles. So there are a lot of tricky tiles, such as the wreck ship energy tank. All of the tiles underwater need to be collected.
Yeah,
that can be dangerous.
So the one thing here is that Feral doesn't have the speed booster, so is going to have to go up top. And use the top to access some of those tiles. And it will make it a little bit trickier because it won't be able to speed boost through the speed booster blocks. So we'll be seeing him do some jumping up and I guess balling, some very precise jumping.
Yep. I don't doubt that Feral can do it, but they are fairly tricky jumps.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not saying that he couldn't do it, or they're just tricky jumps, especially for anybody who's not used to doing something like that. Just if that's more for randomizer, randomizer kind of thing that you would come across. Because you kind of want to know what's over there before investing the time to go over there.
So one thing to note, it's not really super important, but it looks like 64-bit Link picked up Spazer. Maybe just doing that. Oh my gosh, that
was a
air Doppler.
Fantastic Doppler. Wow.
But anyways, so with Spazer, it locks out a couple different rows. So I think Link just picked it up for comfort. Having Spazer is actually a really nice item to have.
Yeah,
it's comfortable with some room strats. So.
Great damage increase.
Just means he is not doing row 1 or column 4. Which I think with that Brinstar map station, we are inclined to assume that whatever he's doing involves that tile, which means row 1 and column 4 are not part of that anyways.
Yeah. Spectacular Phantom by Feral there. Really nicely done with his Dopplers and. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Link getting a nice Kraid quick kill, so we've got synchronized boss deaths on the screen.
Picking up various suit. That makes the Phantom fight for Link a lot easier.
So technically for Feral, I think it is slightly faster to visit right side wreck ship supers before left, but either way, he does need to, might have been a little bit of any % muscle memory. So as long as he remembers that he needs to go over here, which he does, he's okay.
Does not have to pick up supers over here if he doesn't want them, but
he does not. He is probably going to farm some power bombs from these the bulls here.
Yeah,
I believe they're called.
Yes, they are. AKA sponges.
The sponges.
Yeah. Because they look like a sponge. He might want to shoot that bot on the way. Yeah.
All right, so he is going to choose to pick up the super missile. No surprise there. Having a little bit extra ammo is always really nice to have, even if it's not required. And since you're right there,
he doesn't have any other beam either. So the super missiles are way more damage.
Yep, having extra ammo will certainly help coming up soon in the attic. But first, there are a couple rooms he needs to visit. We'll see if he actually wants to visit the wreck ship E-Tank before or after he gets gravity. And since he's taking the save, I'm inclined to believe he may be going down to it now.
I would agree with that. The save is definitely an indicator of I'm going to do Spiky Death Room.
So here's a fun trick.
Sponge bath? No, this trick is nasty.
Well, Feral doesn't pass, though.
Wow. That is ridiculously difficult.
That is not an easy trick. Anybody who's been forced to do that in Rando can testify, and Feral makes it look like a joke.
Yup. I can't tell you how many times Rando has forced me to do that. But that is a brutal trick. You have very few frames to ball up and lay that for initial power bomb, and then laying the second one on top of that is just. Yeah. Now, one thing that Feral does have to do here is get all the tiles in this room. Oh yeah, there are tiles in the water. So he needs to get all of them, plus the one over there that has the, that one right there, with the E-Tank.
Yeah, so the spikes will only do 16 damage to him, but he will be forced to take a couple of hits, and he does need to dodge the fish.
The Skullterra? Yeah. Yeah, he wants to get hit by the spikes and not the Skullterra.
Yep, unfortunately did take a bit of a dink from the Skullterra, but he'll be all right.
Yeah, especially the way he handled the Spiky Death Room going through it the first time. But yeah, for whatever reason, the spikes are super nerfed in that room.
So actually, the rightmost spike, for some reason, does 60 damage instead of 16. It does the normal spike damage, and I have no idea why. Maybe somebody can explain it, but there's just one spike in that room that does extra damage.
Well, that's weird. That was Feral going into Criteria there for whatever reason. Probably thinking that was part of the wreck ship, but it's not. So Feral taking it nice and easy through the Spiky Death Room. You can do this much faster, but he wants to play it safe, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, meanwhile, we do see 64-bit Link doing a bit of a any percent Norfair cleanup. He's picking up his high jump boots and speed booster, and I presume he's going to pick up wave beam as well, but it's technically not required.
Yeah, a lot of
movement throughout wreck ship and then later Meridia.
A lot of very nice comfort items he's getting. Look at this attic by Feral. Wow. Really nicely done. gonna open up the door so he doesn't have to do it again. Because he's gonna have to go visit the robots.
Yep,
Yeah, it looks like you're right there. Link is gonna go pick up that waypoint beam.
So this room here from Feral is another easy room to forget if you're doing Rex ship map cleanup. You don't usually go back here unless you're running 100% or hundo map. He doesn't actually need these missiles, but since he's picking up so many, he might as well.
Yeah, they're part of his 125 missile route, I think. He might as well pick up all of them because they're basically there, and he's forced to come in here by that, fully explore the wreck ship map tile. So he's already spent the time, so why not? He is going to have to do bowling here coming up, so he wants to have a good amount of energy for that.
Yeah, he wants at least 180 so he can take an extra hit from the spikes. The spikes do the full 60 damage in that case, and so you can get across in 2 hits, but sometimes you mess up and you only get it in 3 hits.
Yep.
And that will do 180 damage. So you want to have more health than 180. Which Feral will be okay either way. He has his reserve, which I believe it has enough so that he won't immediately take a hit after refilling.
I think it's full.
Oh, is it full? Okay, well he will take a hit, but then he can do an extra jump.
Yeah.
Because that gives him 100 energy, and he'll take another 60 from the spikes before regaining control.
Yeah.
So that will give him enough, assuming he doesn't need a lot more jumps.
Yeah, 64-bit Link here coming into Crocomire. So Feral picking up those missiles. Needs 125. That is a lot of missile.
Yep. So 64-bit Link is of course required to fight Crocomire. We'll see if he picks up Grapple Beam. He reset. Okay.
All right, he saved and reset.
I'm
not really sure why.
Maybe muscle memory.
He wants to take Moonwalk off. Okay.
All
right. No big deal there.
So one thing to note is we'll probably figure out what exactly 64-bit Link is planning on doing by whether or not he picks up the grapple beam. If he picks it up, he's probably going for column 1, whereas if he doesn't pick it up, he's probably going for row 2.
Yeah. Yeah, he hasn't done anything for like TLBR, which was another possibility we had talked about. Although that does include fully explore the wrecked ship, which is kind of long. So as you can see, Feral doing that right now. Still doing that. So you kind of want to avoid that if you can.
Yep. So this will be the last couple tiles he needs to pick up here.
Well, that's all 15 missiles in the wrecked ship for Feral.
Yep. I don't think that's a tile on this board, though.
Nope,
so.
Not a tile on this board. All right, he's got all the but that is a tile, so take note of that, folks. If you want to do these at home.
One other thing I want to point out is Feral did not pick up the. Did he pick up the sky missiles, like the ones?
No.
On the...
No, he did not pick up those criteria missiles. No, he did pick up the ones the ones. He picked up the ones below, but he didn't pick up the ones at the top. Those for those, I think he doesn't have speed booster. He basically stuck either using the trippers or infinite power bomb or infinite bomb jumping, and I think he didn't want to do either of those options. So. Because I mean they're both kind of slow, so I don't blame him. He can pick up these here under the ocean, and there's plenty of missiles. Like I said, 125. There's so many missiles in this game that you can basically trip over them. It's just 7 seconds of fanfare, so add that up when you have to do it.
Well, the thing I wanted to point out is that means he is not going to be doing column 3. He did not pick up all the criteria missiles. And it looks like he's going to the ship, so he's got other plans, it would seem.
Yeah, going through Gauntlet is also kind of awkward and slow, so I don't blame him there. I mean, there's 2 sets of missiles in Gauntlet, and if you set that up wrong, then you can come in and fall down the wrong side and then have to go through again. That's, I don't know. That it just seems like there are better tiles to go ahead and do. So here, Farrell going to be going for some additional Brintstar power bombs. So that might be something that Farrell's looking for.
Well, ideally, if he was going for the Brinstar power bombs, he would have picked these up on his way up to Rex ship and then gone past to his ship and then gone back into Brinstar kind of the normal way, like the way you would do at the beginning of the game, and then do cleanup from there, starting with Edecoons. So this tells me he may have just forgotten about these power bombs, but you know.
Okay, 64-bit Link going into the map station here in Norfair. Okay, that could be an indicator of column 3.
He's doing row 2 for sure. The fact that he didn't,
yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he didn't pick up grapple and picked up the map station, which tells me that unless he's seeing something we don't, he's almost definitely doing row 2.
Row 2, yeah. That is what I was looking at, and I don't know why I said column 3.
Speaking to what I said earlier about Farrell maybe forgetting about those Brinstar beta power bombs and doing an alternate route, that looks like that's what he's doing, since he is entering green and pink Brinstar from the other direction. So
yeah, he's coming back to Big Pink here. So going to be going back to, I think here we're going to be seeing Mission Impossible. Okay, looks like he's going to go over to Edecoons as well.
Yeah, so
yeah, that's 2 more power bomb sets for Farrell.
So yeah, that probably means he did just kind of forget about those beta power bombs, and so had to do a slightly different route. This one's a little bit slower, and it involves a little bit more backtracking, but it's not the worst time loss ever.
Or we did see him sit in the gravity room for a little bit, so it's quite possible that he just decided to do this as well. Not just something that he forgot about.
I mean, you could also, with the same logic, he may have stopped there because he forgot about the beta power bombs and had to
we'll never
rethink his route.
We'll never know until interview time.
Until interview time. Hopefully he joins us after this.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. All right. 64-bit Link coming up Red Tower here. Ooh. Thank you, Farrell. Extra fanfare for everybody. We know you all love it.
Yep. Visiting the Edecoons. Unfortunately, there will be no Decora visit without Speed Booster unless he wants to do... Actually, he can't even do Moondance to it because Moondance puts you on the other side, and Morphing, I believe, resets your vertical speed. So we will not be seeing a Decora. Kind of sad, but oh well. We'll just have to live.
Yep. Yeah, Visit the Critter's not on this card today, so perhaps another day.
Perhaps.
All right, here's Alpha Power Bombs for Link.
Yep, he does actually need to pick up the Alpha Power Bomb missiles because he needs all the Brinstar missiles, so he's not going to forget about those.
That is something that Link cannot forget, and we see him picking those up right now. So Farrell coming into Mission Impossible here. Will we be seeing a Mission Impossible? No quick fall through there.
Yep, that is going to make Mission Impossible live up to its name, if you will.
It is impossible. Yeah, that trick is, I don't know. It's actually easier if you can get the quick fall through.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible without the quick fall through. But either way, getting it without high jump is very difficult. So, not surprised that Farrell decided not to go with it.
Yeah. No, it's not possible without the quick fall through, but it's easier than you might think it would be. If you can get the quick fall through is actually what makes that ridiculously hard. All right, so these power bombs here, Feral, not forgetting about them, are indeed in Brinstar.
Yep, and that makes all 25 for him. So he does have that. And that suggests to me he is looking at that column 4.
Yeah. It'll be. I think that'd be a nice column to pair. He does have to go get the X-ray scope. Maybe something he wants to get now on his way down Red Tower. And then go into Meridia and then kind of clean everything Meridia and be done.
Yep. So I imagine we'll see him do X-ray right now, or not.
No, Feral has not defeated Spore Spawn, so that's a good point. And that is in column 4, so maybe that's not. Maybe he's going for that TLBR, right? So we're gonna be seeing him go grapple, and he already has one of the missile recharge stations in Brinstar, so he only has to get the other one.
Yeah, looks like he is doing TLBR. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that. He has to make a bit of a deeper visit into Norfair than maybe some of his other options, getting that grapple beam. But
yeah, for that grapple beam. Yeah, the other missile recharge station is down over here by Kraid, so it's significantly far away from the first one.
I would not be surprised if he takes his refill and then immediately leaves without fighting Kraid. He has no reason to get Varia since he already has gravity.
Yeah, fighting Kraid unless he wants the E-tank. There's no point in it. You don't have to activate the refill, but he might get the refill anyway to just fill up on missiles. He's very low.
Yeah, it seems chat's already answered, but yeah, TLBR does stand for top left to bottom right. It is that diagonal starting from grapple beam and ending at the fully explore wreck ship at the top left from the top left to the bottom right.
Yes. Conversely, there is a BLTR, which is just the bottom left to top right. I don't think any of our runners are looking at that. But yeah, there is. We have lit up that tile there. Feral does have both Brinstar missile recharge stations. And we can see now that Feral has a good 70-some missiles on his way to that 125 required.
I imagine we are going to see Feral do Norfair before entering Meridia, since he does need to enter anyways, and having the extra movement items in Meridia helps a lot. I don't know if you've ever done Meridia without movement items, but it is not fun.
I have plenty of randomizers over here for me, but this. So I don't think he's going to collect too much in Norfair. Yeah, high jump maybe, and then if I were him, I'd kind of go straight to grapple. There's nothing else really that I would want. Maybe Ice Beam, one of Ice Beam or Speed Booster.
Yeah, he does need one of Ice Beam or Speed Booster in order to actually get
by Bot Wound. But that's it. I don't know. Ice Beam might be actually the closer item. But we'll see what his preference is.
I think while Ice Beam is the closer item, I would almost favor Speed here. I think it saves more time and makes the movement a lot more fluent. You can do... without it, you'll have to do some alternate strats, especially through Mount Everest, where instead of shine sparking up, you'll have to do some gravity jumps. Grapple jumps.
The gravity jump isn't that much longer, but yeah, I see your point on that. Speed Booster's a little bit longer way to go. 64-bit Link going to Wreck Ship right supers here.
This is not forced as far as my knowledge. I think he does need to pick up a certain amount of super missiles and power bombs.
Yes.
That puts him at 1510.
Yes, he's at 1510 right now.
Okay. And then now he gets another pack of supers, putting him at 15-15.
Triple anti-bingo. That's our next tournament, maybe. No promises.
So one thing to note is that actually puts 64-bit Link at the perfect ammo once he finishes his Brinstar power bombs.
Yeah.
Once he does his Brinstar cleanup, he can pick up 25 power bombs and then also 25 missiles if he decides to pick up Spore Spawn and Etikun supers. So that puts him at the perfect ammo to complete that tile.
Yes.
Plus, he needs to go there anyways in order to finish up his Brinstar missile cleanup up in Blue Brinstar. So I imagine that's what we will see right after he goes through the wrecked ship.
Yeah. All right. And there, your call was correct. Feral did go for that speed booster.
I thought so.
Yeah. All right.
Ice might have technically been faster, but I think in a race where you're doing a route you have never done any practice on, I think speed is probably better overall.
Oh, that's absolutely fair. My first thought would have been just like, oh, ice is right here on the main course. I don't need anything else down here. I'm going to go grab it.
This, on the other hand, is a little bit more interesting. He's picking up the wave beam, actually.
Yeah, there's no reason for that other than to make the wave gate easier. The wave gate down to Crocomire. He does have charge, actually, so that'll make his bot wound fight easier, too. So he can X-Factor bot wound.
It does.
Does he have to fight Dragon? Because that'll also make
he needs
fight easier.
He needs space jump.
Plasma. No, he needs to pick up plasma beam, right?
Well, he needs space
jump,
and he's also going to pick up plasma beam. Presumably.
So yeah, this gives him any percent items for bot wound and Dragon. So yeah, this is the call. This is absolutely the call for him because this gives him muscle memory, right?
Yeah, he can just do an old route any percent Meridia up to plasma, and then he just needs to shine spark and he's done, I believe, assuming he picks up enough missiles along the way.
Yes.
But first he will need to go get that grapple beam.
Yeah.
Assuming he's doing TLBR, which at this point is all but confirmed.
Yeah, he can either finish in that shine spark or that or that crystal flash.
What is he doing? He's getting these missiles.
Missiles.
Okay.
It's possible he goes in the back for the missiles as well.
I doubt it.
But yeah, they're
okay.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. These are harder to get than others that are more along his way, I think.
I think he's being a little bit too
generous.
What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, generous with his missile routing, but if it gets him enough missiles, it works.
He's well over 100. He has, I think, 110 right about now, maybe 115.
I believe 110 is correct.
Yeah.
So he needs 3 more. You want to theory craft with me where he's going to get those?
Oh, Main Street, Mama Turtle, and Aqueduct is what I'm thinking.
I would think
or
Precious Room.
You would think where?
The Precious Room above Dragon.
Yeah, the Precious Room. Yeah, that's what's the Precious Room. I know it's a little more. Yeah, I guess it's kind of a toss up. You can go there, or Mama Turtle. Precious Room is less out of the way than Mama Turtle. But yeah.
I think he's also going to pick up the Croc Escape, and then maybe he might pick up the Indiana Jones missiles in the pantry.
Yeah, it's also possibly picks up Indiana Jones. He's going to pick up those grapple beam. He could pick up the cosine room.
He might do that too. Maybe just finish up his missiles before leaving Norfair.
Yeah, because he could do Croc Escape. I think you mentioned that previously. So yeah, and that would be all of them.
Speaking of missiles, we see 64-bit Link doing his missile cleanup in Brinstar. I believe with this he will have 60 once he picks up Billy Mays and the beta missiles. But
yeah,
would like confirmation of that by our trackers.
He is
If
going
that's
to need.
possible.
He's going to need those. I don't know. It doesn't need Old Mother Brain or anything like that. Those are criteria.
Wait, did he pick up Crane Missile?
No.
Okay.
He did not have power bombs at the time, so.
Oh, he did get Crane Missiles, apparently. I don't
All right.
know.
He went back and got it. There you go. Okay. We must have missed that. He went back and got it.
All right. All right.
Thank you, chat, for keeping us honors. All right. So, Farrell's setting up to get grapple beam here. And yeah, so this will give Link all 60 missiles once he picks up these beta missiles.
Yep. This is starting to look pretty close. This is going to come down to who can do Meridia faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Our runners are on equal footing as far as equipment, so...
So where is 64-bit Link sitting on his super missiles and power bombs?
He has 15 and 15, I think.
I think he has 15-20 because he picked up these power bombs. Oh, well, now he picked up these power.
He will pick up these power bombs, yeah.
Okay. And yeah, Farrell picking up the pantry missiles, or Indiana Jones. So that suggests to me he may be planning on picking up all his missiles here in the Crocomire area.
Yeah. If he goes to Cosine Room, then for sure he's going to clean them out here.
Oh. Okay. He's gonna pick up one more missile somewhere in
Could be
Meridia.
that precious room that you mentioned.
I think that's the fastest.
Croc Escape and the precious room. I mean, yeah. It's gonna be right there. He doesn't need to go get Aqueduct. He doesn't need to go off to get Mama Turtle. Main Street's also kind of right there. Well, that short charge is really tight. If he's doing it from the bottom, he can do it from up top. But...
So one thing I didn't think of is it looks like 64-bit Link is planning on getting X-Ray after he picks up Space Jump. He might not be comfortable with the just jumping across X-Ray, which I don't blame him. That is very difficult, but that actually puts him at a pretty significant disadvantage here against Farrell.
He could be going to get Ice Beam. There's another there. You can do it with Ice Beam as well. But yeah, if he's waiting until after he has Space Jump, that is going to put him at a disadvantage. You are correct.
Yep, he also does need to pick up a few super missile packs somewhere in Meridia, I believe.
Yeah, Crab Supers, pretty easy one to pick up there, as are Aqueduct Supers.
Yeah, even the Beach Supers, if that's not enough. And I think that would put him at 30-20 if he picks up all three.
Yeah, that's...
So I think that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, that's plenty right there. He doesn't want to get the power bombs that are in here. Those are super slow.
Those are very slow, although he could technically get him on the way out.
I guess. Just going into the sand pits is not something I ever want to do. Unless I'm doing Hundo, because I'm forced to do it. Or Rando, because you never know what might be in there. But even then, I don't want to do it.
I would tend to agree with that.
Yeah. I think most runners would. Alright, yeah, so it looks like he is going to go up to the beach. And Farrell going straight over to Bot Wound, not messing around at all.
Yep, we get to see Farrell's any percent prowess as he does, any percent Meridia. This doesn't really change in between old route and new route, with the exception of picking up Space Jump and Plasma Beam.
Yeah, using the old setup there for the X Factor. I like that.
Yeah, I think the old setup is technically faster. It's just a little bit more difficult to get all the super missiles in first round.
Yeah,
so that's why the new route is more popular these days.
Well, it's hardcore. All right, there is another energy tank there for Farrell. Not really necessary, but probably a safety that he wants to pick up. It's on his way.
Could also be muscle memory. He sees some muscle memory there as he equips the grapple beam, which he would not normally have in an any percent run.
Nope. That messed him up there as he's trying to get a full halfie. Looks like he's got a good setup for it. Yeah, oh. His setup was really good there.
Yep, unfortunately, it looked like he bonked the little pipe at the top of the door, so didn't quite get enough height.
Yeah. Alright. Is he going to go and... Yeah, he's got plenty of missiles. There we got confirmation he has the 125. As soon as he picks up these precious room missiles. Alright, Link gonna come up into Aqueduct here and get these supers as we talked about.
Yep, and that puts him at...
And it puts him at 50. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 50
yeah.
Total. That tile is worded a bit poorly. It just means your super missiles and power bombs need to add up to 50, which he should have now with 30 super missiles and 20 power bombs.
Yeah, they cannot add up to 55.
No, they can. It needs to be at least 50 though.
No, it needs to be exactly 50.
So I've been told otherwise. I'm not sure.
Nope.
Somebody confirm in chat. We need help. Dragon is looking mighty low.
Well, the official rules here available on Speedruns Live.
Ooh, Farrell's trying to get that spike suit so he can maybe pick up Plasma Beam and then immediately activate a spike suit. Is there an official rule? I mean, there is.
Yeah, they're listed on the bingo card on Speedruns Live. They give you.
Does it specify?
Yeah, the collect X energy tank, collect X super missile goals. You can collect any combination of the two items specified, but they must add up to the number specified. For example, you can collect 9 energy tanks and 2 reserve tanks to satisfy the goal, 15 super missiles and 35 power bombs to satisfy that goal. A little vague on going over.
I think you can go over because, yeah, you should be able to. Either way, he's not going to go over, so it isn't relevant. This
completely irrelevant. Yeah, exactly, completely irrelevant. Nobody gonna go over because it just means you have to pick up more stuff, which is a waste of time. We don't want to waste time. We want to go fast.
Yeah, speaking of going fast, Farrell is very close to the end here. He just needs to get his plasma beam and then do a shine spark at the bottom of that room, and he is done.
Yeah, Link is really close too. What does he have left?
He just needs He needs the same plasma beam.
He needs the same plasma beam.
Go to X-ray.
An X-ray. Oh, that's. Oh man. Link's gonna pick up Space Jump to get that X-ray too. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. All right, Crystal Flash or Shine Spark. Which is it, Farrell? Doesn't have enough ammo to Shine Spark, so
yeah, I think we know which one it's gonna be. And there it is, the Shine Spark. And with that, Farrell has finished with an official SRL time of 48 minutes and 24 seconds.
Oh, GG's, Farrell.
GG's. Let me go ahead and mark him done real quick.
Yeah. Some people in chat saying they confirmed in our official Discord that you can go above. So
I thought so. You're making me second guess myself.
I mean, the wording of the rule pretty awkward as along with the tiles. So yeah. Perhaps we
maybe somebody should change that.
Yeah.
But either way, it's once you know what it means, it's not too bad.
I mean, it's kind of moot because you wouldn't really want to go above anyway for most of those things because it just means you pick up more stuff, and that's not, it's not worth your time. Also, you can't pick up 55 super missiles. There aren't 55 super missiles in the game.
there are not 55 super missiles in the game, because that would be cheating, and that's not allowed.
Well,
I mean, you could do it with like GT code, but you're not allowed to do GT code in the tournament.
Nope. GT code, out of bounds, that kind of stuff. Space time, all that stuff is banned. All right, there's that space jump 464-bit link. So we're looking at plasma beam and
X-ray.
X-ray.
So he's just gonna get plasma beam, probably go down the toilet, down the aqueduct, and then make a beeline straight to X-ray.
Yeah,
he's actually not finishing with a bad time himself. Only a couple minutes behind.
You know what? See, Link has to finish in the X-ray room.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that.
That's why Link is going to X-ray last.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Okay. So that tile off to the side. Both of us forgot about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
We are just poor commentators. We don't remember everything.
I'll speak for yourself.
Oh, well, this guy remembers everything, obviously.
No, I don't. No, I'm not saying I remember everything, but you're saying we're poor commentators.
I mean, I'm a college student. I'm poor in general.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, yeah. That was... So what happened there? I was going to do column 3, and I forgot sky missiles.
Yeah.
And so I stopped at gravity, thinking, is it quicker to go all the way back through wreck ship, bowling again, or whether it was quicker to switch my rows? So I was looking at like several rows and columns, trying to figure out what to do. Like, I think that cost me about 5 minutes or something. I had a really good route in my head, and then I had to make it up on the fly after that. So
yeah. Well, you made it look good.
Thanks. So I weren't sure how far ahead or behind I was, and yeah.
I don't know. It was tough to tell because at that point in time, your routes had diverged. Link went down Red Tower, so
yeah.
But yeah.
But I actually did notice that 125 missiles. When that was forced on me, I was like, "Oh damn!"
That is a lot of collection, just randomly there. Plus, the other tile that you got whammied with is that fully explore the wrecked ship. That's surprisingly long to do.
Yeah.
And if you're not prepared,
I'd never done it before as well, so I weren't sure where the boundaries were. So I think I entered criteria on the side. Just to...
You did. Yeah, you did. That was another thing I was gonna say. If you're not prepared for that, you don't know where to go. You don't know where all to go.
Yeah, so I was looking at the mini map, making sure I got it all, and I wasn't sure. I knew the route because I'd seen people do it in other races. But yeah, I weren't sure whether that room or not. But I checked and it was fine. So.
Yeah. There was a race earlier where the runner had forgotten a tile, so
it's easily done on that as well.
Oh, absolutely. So that 80% muscle memory kicks in, and you just don't go somewhere, and all of a sudden, what do you do?
I think I got a few things because of 80% muscle memory. I didn't intend to get Botter and E-Tank, but I already had 4 at that point, but I ended up just jumping in there just out of habit.
Yeah, that's actually what we thought. Derp and I were like, is this 80% muscle memory? Yep, totally.
Yeah, because right after that, he switched to grapple, so where he didn't think he would have.
Oh, yeah, I did that as well, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, I had to redo, and I ended up messing up full half because of that. So yeah, a few things. Muscle memory kicks in.
Yeah, that's all right. You still look very good. Your route was very clean.
So originally I was going to do column 3, so I was going to just dip into Norfair, get the Norfair reserve and speed, and then just piece on out of there and do Meridia. Which would have been a lot quicker and a lot better, but because it was just Norfair Reserve, Norfair Map Station, which is right there.
Yep.
Alright, so I don't want to interrupt you,
confused.
but Link has officially finished as well.
All
The time
right.
of
GG's.
4:22. So only like 6 minutes apart. Not too bad.
Yeah, no,
Pretty
not bad
close
at
race.
all. Yeah, that is, yeah, much closer than some other races. Like mine.
I still think the one I assigned column 2 is probably the worst of the two. Looking at it, that might be just me there.
Yeah, column 2 was pretty rough. I think that's what Derp and I were thinking was the roughest column. Right, Derp?
Yeah.
I don't remember what I said was the roughest column, but it
Yeah.
might have been column 2.
Or row 3, I think, something like that we were talking about. Because there's that 10 energy tanks in there.
There was a few that went with mine. I was looking at row 4 as well, and column 4. I think it only involved X-ray. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were expecting you to go row 4 after you didn't pick up sky missiles, so that was what
yeah,
we were
I was
initially
looking
expecting.
I was looking at them all, and I just had to make a decision on the fly. I couldn't waste too much time because I knew that mistake had cost me about 5 minutes already. So I like I said, I didn't know how far ahead or behind I was, so I just picked one that I could do and just went with it.
Yeah, that's
I got a bit lucky there, to be honest. But
no, it's nicely done.
But yeah, top left, bottom right, I decided on that because that was originally my row. You know, like you always decide on a row and then you look at the others and see if there's a better one. And
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was the original one I decided on before I spotted column 3, which I thought was better. But anyway.
Well, so
all right, we're gonna see if come in and join us. But yeah, what else do we have on the schedule here? In the meantime, it looks like this was our only race for today. But we do have another race on Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. That's going to be Jay Chalky versus Iora. Another pretty good one. So be sure to check out the SpeedGaming schedule for more Super Metroid Double Anti-Bingo action. Hey, Link, how are you?
All right.
So tell us, give us some thoughts.
So I felt that this board, like, there was nothing really like overboard trolly on this board. So like I had a hard time like trying to figure out what row I wanted to give to Feral, because like, so I basically just went with like the one with 125 plus missiles and fully explore the wrecked ship, because I think both of those are kind of annoying, especially fully explore the wrecked ship when you're for someone who wants to do wrecked ship first.
Yes, I think those were really good tiles for you.
Yeah, that was a really good play, was that, because I'd never done that especially. So
yeah. So what were you thinking as you were going and doing particular selections?
So basically, like, I immediately saw the collect X-ray scope and skip grapple and finish an X-ray were like on the same row. So I'm just like, if I could. So the fact that intersected and like map stations are basically free, I was just like, that's most likely the row I'm gonna go with. And yeah, just to me, it felt like everything that I wanted to do basically just routed in really nicely. I could just basically like clean up stuff in Norfair, kill Croc, get the power bombs to get the Norfair map station, go wrecked ship, go down Blue Bryn and through Meridia, and just like collect everything I needed along the way. Yeah.
No. That sounds very logical. And I think your routing worked out reasonably well for you. The one thing that I think, just ended up being was having to go all the way back for that X-ray and then finish in there. That was one thing. We Derp and I were like, oh, why doesn't he go get the X-ray? Why doesn't he go get the X-ray? And we didn't realize that you had to finish in the X-ray as well in that row. So that was something that we were kind of not expecting. But I think overall, your routing was reasonable for what you wanted to do.
Yeah. And I think like just finishing within like 6 minutes of Feral, I think that's an accomplishment, because considering that Feral is like several tiers of skill level above me. So
yeah, it just, look, man, you come out and do what you can do. That's what I did. It didn't end up so well for me this time, but you come out and you do what you can do, and you just have fun doing it with these things.
Yeah, because it's like in a way I did way better than I was expecting to going into this tournament, making it, because I made it basically all the way to round 3 of the losers bracket. So that's definitely, I kind of was like, well, if I go anything better than 0-2 in this tournament, then it's a good tournament. And I basically exited with a 2-2 record, so I can't really complain about that.
Well done, man. Well done. You can bingo with me anytime you want. So, all right. Any other thoughts, guys, before we send it off here, or?
Yeah. Please don't win, Cutie. I don't want to have to race you next time.
All right then. So as I said, we have another race coming up on Thursday. I want to thank our runners. They put on an excellent show for us tonight. Thank the SpeedGaming channel. Thank you, Derp, for joining me. And we will see you next mission.
Good race. Thank you.